City of mine, how I love the city of mine. It never gets me down. City of mine, how I love the city of mine. It never gets me down, yeah.
I was born in the city, I was raised on its edges. My pop worked his life on its complex. I found love in its center. If I could live here forever, think it'd be for the better. I love the weather, even though it's fog 24/7. I love the people, this is city. I met all my best friends, and I wanna thank every brick. I wanna thank every entrance to every building that I step in this city of mine. I owe you most my best moments in life. See, I fell in love for the first time in Golden Gate Park. I saw my first rap show at Great American Hall. I used to beg my homies for a ride across the bridge to goof off and spend the whole damn day doing whatever we want. Keith drove us down to Ice Place while we'd roll up a blunt, and me and Jack would get stoned, walk around and get lost. Don't think I'll ever truly pay back all I was lucky to get just by walking through the city. No, I'm a small part of this.
City of mine, how I love this city of mine. It never gets me down. City of mine, how I love this city of mine. It never gets me down.
I never really had a place to call my own, so I travel and I roam till I find that. But I'm full of adventure, so I wander and I venture, and it's safe to say that really I don't mind that. I book a flight to try to figure where my mind's at, a spot where I don't spend no money, just some time at. I mix and mingle with the people till I learn a little. I brought some weed and baby, maybe we could burn a little. She said you're funny, I said no, I'm Xavier, then I left. Sun shining, birds chirping, let me take a breath. I'm headed to the city where my chance to make it best. What people like to give a little, then you take the rest. I'm hoping one day maybe I can find a place to rest. I fell in love with life and wonder where it take me next. I like the hustle and bustle, I fell in love with the fashion. I feel the pulse of the city, it's moving me like a passion, and it's mine.
How I love this city of mine. It never gets me down. City of mine. How I love this city of mine. It never gets me down. Me and my hometown, baby, we go way back. All the situations, circumstances, still we don't mind. Steady going on, I dance around the street lights. Hey, I know every street sign, hanging around the block. Like if you are my friend, then you are welcome any moment. Yeah, city of mine, how I love this city of mine. It never gets me down. City of mine, how I love this city of mine. It never gets me down.
Yeah! What's crackalackin'? Let me put the headphones in my dome and turn that sound down. Anyway, gang, welcome to the showgram. I am your content creation coach, Doc Rock, and I don't know why I left that lower third there, but you guys know who it is. Let's get rid of that. You don't need that. Anyway, welcome to the showgram. I am going to be talking to you guys about some things that you can do as a creator, a couple of little things you need to switch up in your conversations, normally with yourself. You need to switch up in your conversations in order to get better at this here creator life. Let me remove these keys from my pocket because they're getting on my nerves, and put the AirPods away because I had them on like I was going to stream with an AirPod. Never happened. What's wrong with you people? Why do you do that? Anyway, so we're going to get into some things today. We're going to talk about it so that way you can be about it, and then we're just going to make life even better. I have to say, real quick, congratulations to India Del Guido. She's on 99. I think tomorrow is 100. So looking forward to going to bother her life on her stream tomorrow. That ought to be fun. So, you know what I'm saying? Congratulations, India.
Coño.
She has bodied the 100-day of live streaming challenge. Like, oh my God, that's just, to me, incredible. It is a thing. It is a thing. And we'll talk about that a little bit. Matter of fact, I'll probably reference her a few times in this. Anyway, if you're brand new around these parts, you are able to drop your questions in the bottom. So just drop a Q, throw your questions in order. And I got to say, slightly disappointed that everybody screwed it up yesterday. So, Paul, while you were gone, I don't remember how it happened, but we were going to have everybody do pickle colon because of cucumbers, drop a Q in the chat. And then people like Rich started leaking it like a couple days in advance. And then by the time yesterday came around for the demo, everybody forgot that they were supposed to put the Q colon as a question. And we wanted to freak you out while you were gone. Everybody forgot the assignment. So, yeah, sorry, Paul. Sorry about that. Anyway, let's see. Make sure I got my slide situated. See, I know you forgot about it, Victor. You guys are all fired. That joint. Thank you, Mike. There you go. It was going to be good, and everybody forgot. Just straight up ruined the surprise. Keely said she didn't have no question yesterday because she's smart like that. Let me embiggen Mike just a smidgen. And yeah, man, I was waiting I know, right, Paul? They started leaking it like days in advance. I'm like, people, for Friday on the eCamp demo, because Paul was missing the Friday before, we were just going to drop cues in the yeah, everybody forgot. And then Rich was throwing them last Saturday. And I'm like, Rich, chill out. But that's okay, because they're opening a Susie's cake shop near Rich's house. So, when I go there, I'm going to go find me one of these cakes that Tom and Heather keep talking about. All right, let's investigate these slides and see if they're in there. What's up, Dina? Good to see you here. Okay, cool. So we're going to talk about some victim versus creator mindset. And as I like to start out every one of these ass-kicking sessions, your excuse is valid. So what? So what? Who cares, right? Because, you can't do anything about it, right? More than likely, half the stuff that you're saying is whatever. You either choose not to do something about it or you can't do something about it. And in which case, it's valid, but you still can adjust accordingly. Q Olin. Jesus, Keely. Let's see if my Command K works. Oh, no. Beyond 280 beat Keely before my fingers got in there. All right, cool. You go. There we go. Bam. So, yes. I just want to go ahead and give it to you because, whenever I have conversations with people about tough subjects, people always come with excuses. And I used to be a professional excuse maker. Let me tell you that. And one of my mentors was like, yep, you're correct. Now what? And then there's a couple of people who've been through leadership trainings and things like that. There's okay, and then, okay, and now what? Yes, now what, right? So it's the same thing. Your excuses are 100% valid, but what are you going to do about it? And that's basically where we're at here. You know what I mean? Okay, so, excuse me, overlay unlock. I'll click over here if I wish. All right, so one of the first things that victims do is they focus on their weaknesses, right? Victims will always be like, I'm terrible at recording. I'm terrible about talking to camera. I'm terrible about editing. I'm terrible, right? The victim mindset is to focus on their weaknesses. It is one thing to know what your weakness is. It is another thing to focus on that weakness. I am not a good public speaker. Guess what is the only way to become a better public speaker? Speak. So, you know what I mean? Oh, I'm not good on camera. Cool. You know how you get better on camera? Be on camera, right? Did I miss one? Oh, I just totally missed one. Well, there goes that slide. The next slide was supposed to say creators focus on how to improve. I guess I need to fix that. How did I delete that? That is funny. I might have accidentally deleted it when I was exporting. And I could re-export it and fix it, but I'm just going to check. Yep, I totally skipped one. That's funny. And then now, hold on. I think I got to fix something. I might have every other one backwards. Let me check. Yep, something's going to be out of order. Yeah, I got to fix this real quick. Otherwise, the whole thing is going to be whack. 1 second. Anyway, so you guys know, you can tell me right now, what are some of the things that you know you need to improve and how you would improve it? That is the key. You know what I'm saying? And once you got that part figured out, like, it really can make things so much better, right? It is okay to know that you're not the greatest at a particular task, especially a task that has been a challenge to you for many, many times, right? If that is the case, then that is, oh, I know what it is. I found it. Haha, it just got switched out of order. Hold on. This is funny. Be right back. Oh my goodness. Let me pull this down to where I can see faster, because I'm about to mess up my whole entire life over here. This is why you got to do these things, correct. What is... Delete this. All right. Don't worry, gang. My brain is going to catch up really fast. Sucks to be you, man. Why are you silly, Billy? Even the professionals make mistakes, but it's okay, because you can recover from the mistakes on the fly and make up stupid songs that don't even rhyme. Or you can bust out raps about how you do it. Boom. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. All right. I think I fixed it. I fixed it. I'm fixing this in the morning. You guys are watching me have a mental breakdown live on stream. He is having a mental breakdown. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum. Mental breakdown. On the stream. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Tom Buck Nasty in the house, watching me have a mental breakdown on the stream. All right, let's get it. So let's put this right here. See, I love doing this stuff right here. You know why I like doing this stuff? Because that way, when you guys have a mental breakdown on the stream, you could be like, Doc just took it in the face like a champ and just kept working. Exactly. That's what I want you to get. That's your takeaway from my mistakes. All right, there we go. Now we're going to focus on the improvement. That's the key to success, right? So what we're talking about is the victim mindset. And it's okay, right? Listen, you got to understand that some of the victim mindset that you may have might not necessarily be your fault, but we're not worried about whose fault it is, because that's irrelevant as well. You can't possibly fix that either unless you're in a situation to adjust your relationship with that person and tell them to take a flying, never mind. Anyway, so, I mean, don't even get caught in the, oh, it's not my fault, or it's this or that. Who cares? Irrelevant, right? All the way back to the intro, that excuse is valid, but so what? So don't get worried about whose fault it is. Let's just fix it. Everything we're working towards is about fixing these things, because I know these things creep into all of us while we're trying to work. I have watched some of my most accomplished creators fall into some of these traps in the middle of their work, because it is what it is, right? All right. So anyway, the key to success is creators focus on improvement, right? So if I suck at editing, then I'll edit more, right? If I want to get better on camera, I will be on camera more. I want to get better at public speaking, I will sign myself up for public speaking gigs, take Toastmasters, join the storytelling club, something of that nature. Put yourself in a position to get better instead of just talk about why you can't do something. You know what I'm saying? All right. So another big one, victims make excuses, right? Like, blah, blah, blah. This is so boring. I never really learned anything. I can't buy. Yeah. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. What a creator does is seek a solution. So if you have a required thing at your job or a continuing education type thing that you have to go to, if it's boring, how about let's contact the people who are in charge and tell them, listen, I am an Ecamm live specialist. I am really, really good at live streaming in Zoom. Can I help you make this training less boring? Right? I literally watched the little person upstairs go through some real estate continuing education, and it was just trash. And I was like, you know what? You should throw these suggestions at the board and tell them that when they want to do this training next year when it comes up, because it comes up every year, here's some things that you can do to make it better, right? Give them a list. Give them the skills to pay the bills. Basically, tell them what it will take to be successful. And then not only will it not be boring for you the next time you have to take it, but you'll be saving the lives of 26,000 other realtors who have to go through that crap. You know what I'm saying? That's what a solution seeker does, right? Tom talked about it this morning on his stream. If you happen to catch the Tom Buck Nasty stream about the Rodecaster Pro, he goes, all these people talking about, Rode only lets me use 2 apps or 3 apps as virtual channels in this thing. I wish there was more. Cool. Have you ever went to like feedback@rode.com or whatever their, email address is, and through that, have you ever sent them a tweet? You know what I'm saying? Have you ever went to them and said, hey, gang, I would really appreciate it if it did this, right? And you might send that to them, and they're like, hey, you know what? Good idea. Booyaka. It's just what happens, right? So you don't have to wait for this stuff, right? I tell people all the time, stop complaining about what Apple hasn't done when you have never sent anything to feedback@apple.com. It makes about as much sense as screen doors on the submarine. All right, another key element here. Victims tend to complain a lot. I'm just saying, right? I swear to you, Tom had a really good one this morning, and I know he couldn't read my answer in his chat because, he's Mr. Rogers and I'm Dennis the Menace, so I'll read it out loud for you. I get super irritated when, and actually Tom had a good thing that I forgot about, but I know this to be the case. I get super irritated when I'm like, hey, you can pick up this, sticky widget for, $9.99 right now, and it's going to really help you do OMZ. Oh, $9.99 for y'all, but where I live, it costs $12.99. Hey, I didn't make the exchange rate. Why are you coming at me? Even complaining that your exchange rate is higher is just lame. Stop. Douchery. 2. Here's why. So yes, I'm pick on Keely right now, because my homie, so she understands. My thing right here, right? This costs, $600 to me, right? But it costs $7.99 to you. Let's call it $800 to you. But let's ask this question. One of these could set me back about, 800 bones. Yours is free. You know what I'm saying? Right? We don't show tax and prices, number one. So that was Tom's answer. We don't show taxes and prices. And I know like the UK and other places, they show fully ended price tax, the whole 9 yards. So it seems more expensive. That's one side of it. But number 2, free healthcare. We don't. So, I get a headache. It will cost me more than a Rodecaster Pro. So, you have to kind of count your flowers. Never mind my flowers. Your flowers. Count your own flowers, okay? All right, cool. That helps out. That's a good thing. Sorry, that wasn't exactly what Tom was talking about, but I just irritated when people tell me about like how something costs more where they live. I don't live there. You can move, right? Like, for the most part, of course, there'll be lots of excuses as to why you can't move, this, that, and the next thing. But yeah, it turns out in most cases you can move, right? You just got to get over the things that you think that can't get you there. You know how I know? Because I moved from the East Coast out here 14 years ago because I wasn't going to stay in like the crack hellhole that, my city was at the time. So I relocated to the best place in the planet. Well, we don't have a Susie's Cakes, though. So there's that. All right. So one thing that a creator would do, well, like I said, turn those complaints into a request. If the item that you're using or the device that you're using doesn't do what you want, send a feedback to the people that make it and ask them, can you fix it? You know what I'm saying? Like, that is the much better option. Standing around just like, complaining about it. Oh, I don't like this because I can't get 2 sounds to play at the same time. You know what? Enough people said something and then Ken fixed it. Like, that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Boom, boom, boom. The challenging clients I work with live with high degrees of victimhood. It is extremely difficult to convince them that there are options and other solutions. Boom, Los is in the building. Man, Los, we need to get you on here so you can tell me the parts that I say that are just crazy. Because sometimes, that is me, right? Douchery. Furiously taking notes. I have really weird words. I am sorry, beyond 280. Everybody would tell you that I have lots of weird words, so you'll get used to them. Okay. Oh my goodness. There you go. Bam. So let's get to the next one. One of the things that victims tend to do is compare themselves unfavorably to other people. As creators, this is just pure weight. You're putting hundreds of pounds of lead weight on your ankles and trying to swim. You know what I'm saying? This is one of the worst ones, and you just can't do this. It is impossible. You know what I'm saying? So it's just one of those situations where you really got to stop comparing yourself to people that you think are better than you somehow or have some leg up that you don't have, right? Let me tell you, here is a fantastic solution to that. Ask the people who you think are better than you how to get that good. Oh, wow, that's a game changer. Hello. Yeah. Instead of just, looking at some creator, instead of me looking at Mr. Camera Junkie going, oh, he's way better at, this than I am. How about upgrade your skills? How about ask that person to teach you? How about ask them where they learned it from? How about just go take another course or another training or something to get yourself in position to be that good? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's just one of those things. Right? It's just one of those things. So you have to, just don't look at somebody that has something better than you and then be like, just ask them how to do it. So for instance, if you had this question, why am I not like Tom Buck yet? Then go to pun school and then you'll be there in a second. Don't punish yourself. Sorry. I'm done. I don't want to use Tom's patented puns. It might be against some kind of regulations. I'm not sure. All right. Let me unlock this slide because right now it's making it so it don't want me to do what I want to do. All right, cool. It's unlocked. Thank you. I think. We'll find out in a second. All right. So we all know this one. Straight up. And I think Los might have popped it in the chat just a second ago. I think we're on the same page. Yes, here it is. Los said it. The victim mindset blames, rationalizes, justifies, minimizes their way out of taking action. Correct, Los. Los is correct. The victim mindset just blames everything, right? This is ridiculous, or I had a problem because this didn't work. Or, the famous one is I was doing my most important stream yet, and then the application didn't do what I wanted it to do, blah, blah, blah. And then so we go through some checking. We find out they didn't pre-produce, so the cable wasn't correct. Not picking on you, Tom. Just resolder that cable. You could probably fix that cable you have, Tom, just with a quick resolder job, honestly. Anyway, there are just the idea that companies are out to get you, the idea that these companies are just trying to rob you blind or whatever, that's just all blamatory stuff that doesn't really do anything. But if you're a real creator, you're just going to accept the responsibility, right? My stream failed because I didn't properly pregame. My connection didn't work because I didn't check all of this stuff prior. My slide ate it because I effed it up, but I'll go un-eff it real quick live on the stream and sing a corny song while I fix it and then keep going because, hey, stream happens. You know what I mean? So in the process, right, I could blame somebody. I can even blame Canva, be like, yo, Canva deleted my slide. Canva don't know how to delete slides. You deleted the slide in Canva. accept that responsibility, it makes it better for you not to repeat those mistakes. See, the hard way, the impossible way, I wouldn't even go hard. It is impossible to overcome your shortcomings if you never accept that blame, right? And 9 times out of 10, let's just cover this. 9 times out of 10, the blame is irrelevant. It doesn't matter whose fault it is. It still got to get got, right? So if all of a sudden this spilled and the floor is wet and now the floor is dangerous, someone gonna walk across the slip and bust their head. It doesn't matter how a floor got wet. You dry the floor so nobody dies. Simple, right? So that is that situation in the nutshells, right? Boom. All right. So in the victim mindset, you see all problems as permanent, right? I will never get good at X. Pun school, right? I will never be able to this, right? I'm going to pick on somebody in the chat that will probably be mad at me after I pick on them, but that's okay. But one of our people is always talking about, like, they're never going to be able to afford this piece of something that they want. But, like, you got to ask, what did you do yesterday to get you closer to that? Right? See, the victim mindset sees the situation as permanent, but the creator mindset sees these things as temporary. Everything is a temporary setback, right? So in a temporary setback, you will go and make moves to figure out how to make it better, right? I have less than 100 subs. Okay, what did you do yesterday to add a sub? What do you mean? I mean, you guys remember Clubhouse, Rich, Todd, let's see who else, Cameron, Junkie, Luis. Some of y'all would be in the room with us on Clubhouse, and then me and Viper or me and the Two Buddy crew or somebody is doing one of those things, those Clubhouse rooms, and people would talk about how they've been on the platform for 2 years, but they still have less than 100 subs, and then we go to their channel, and they got like 4 videos, maybe 5 videos. What? What are you talking about, Willis? What are you talking about, Willis? Like, it just doesn't work, right? So you have to ask yourself, if there is something that is posing a problem to you now, what did you do about it to make it better, right? What did you do about it to be about it, right? So, for instance, I'll pick on my homegirl Keels right now. A whole bunch of folks came in. Oh, I don't want to be in the Discord because I don't know how to use Discord, blah, blah, blah. Keely's like, cool, I have a Discord session. I'll teach you how to use it. Do you show up? No. Half of the people that complain didn't show up. Rabbi David showed up, but, a bunch of other people who, and it's not that she's done one, she's done like 7, 8, and maybe 9 of these things, maybe more. And the creators, they came and they're like, well, I better get on this Discord thing because it's coming up all over the place for all myriad types of people in the fields that I'm working in, right? So they're the people that showed up. Some had to come a couple times because they just don't remember stuff because, age, Paul Duncan. So what do? They come to all these stuffs and they get better, right? They see their lack of skills at Discord as a temporary problem, not a permanent problem, right? So they do the things to get better. And if you haven't done so already, go to discordforcreators.com and get yourself in the Discord game because it's coming whether you like it or not. Discord just for gamers. No, it's not. So stop that. You know what I'm saying? There you go. And Kathy. Boom. Yeah, I think that's all of us, Rich. I think all of us do that. That one is that was a hard one to shake because a lot of that has to do with the second question, busy with what? Right? The easiest way, I got to say, this is a very good point. Thank you, Brother Rich, for bringing this up. The easiest way to get over this one is to make an itemized list of what you do all day, every day for like 7 days and then look at it and then be like, what can I take a Sharpie to? and then you'll find it. Like I always tell people, everybody, it could probably find you like 2 hours in your day, with enough whittling down the psychotics. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, just stop using it. Like, I use it because I have to, but whatever I don't have to, I stay away from there. You know what I'm saying? Mike say you can keep that one. Yes, Matisse teach you how to not stake something. Mistakes teach you how to not do something. 100%. Ooh, come on now. Beyond 280 says problems have solutions. All right, there you go, Tom. I'm for that life. I'm absolutely for that life. If you have questions about pinouts or something like that, just send me a DM. I'll get you straightened out. That's what it is. Mr. Carlos, you're right. Personal responsibility tends to be what it is all about. And it is again, understandable, folks. Like, a lot of this stuff is trained into us by other people. Some of it was trained into us. Let's just start with the fact that we went to a single style education system because after the Second World War, they needed to create people that would work in factories. They needed a certain level of even training, and they needed a certain level of compliance. That's the reason why we had those required readings, those stats, those skills, right? But if you look into a PISA test and you see basically the countries that are excelling, the places that are excelling in education, they just teach differently. It is not, we are really good at remembering stuff. We can probably out remember most students because of the way we test. But like, for instance, in a lot of the Nordic countries, they teach problem solvers and solution matching and, more innovative type stuff, where we teach everyone needs to know how to balance X and Y. Every single person needs to know how to balance X and Y the exact same way. Let's solve for both sides of the equation type stuff. And it's just different. People just don't do that, right? So, yeah, it's definitely a thing. And yes, Beyond 280 is correct. It's correct. Right and correct. Record it. Why? Because everything is content. Everything is content. Everything is content. One of my new favorite sounds on the old Instagram reels. All right. Yeah. So don't was gonna. See right here, Luis? Don't was gonna. Because you're here right now, and yes, you're moderating, but you could pick up your phone and be like, Tom, just unscrew the cable, pull the little sheath back. It's not dissimilar from, unrolling. Never mind. And then you'll see pins 1, 2, and 3. Just like use your soldering gun to unsolder them, suck out the dirty solder, cut, re-10, connect, close that sucker back. Game recognized game. Simple. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. That's right. Temporary setback is a future setup. That is what it is. That is what it is. It seems like Clubhouse was so long ago. Thank you, Mike. Yes, I agree. The Discord training was absolutely fire. And there's going to be more training, people. So, like, all you got to do is follow the lady, right? You will find her. She's teaching this stuff all the time. So, this is one of those things, right? This is one of those things. All right. The biggest one, victims try. And according to Master Yoda, creators do. It's so simple that it's simple. That's the part that's funny about it. It's so simple that it's simple, right? Victims are always like, I'm going to try to do so and so and so. And the creator mindset, this is the one that we all can adopt. Every single one of us say, oh, I'm going to try to come next Thursday to do so and so and so. Just say, I'm going to come next Thursday. But I'm going to take the tentative language out. When Wednesday comes around or Tuesday comes around and you know you can't make it on Thursday, call the people involved and let them know why. But when you start the conversation out with, I'm going to try, you don't put forth the effort mentally to make Thursday happen because you already hedged it ahead of the game. So when you tell yourself, yeah, give yourself permission to negate that. Give yourself permission to say, okay, no, I can't make it. But you're probably more likely to do what you said you were going to do in that day if you put in the first place that it was a do, not a tentative, right? I know that sounds crazy. It's a minor shift, but make it happen and watch what happens. See what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't try to join the LGL Discord. Just do that joint. Boom. You know, busy is hard for every person in the planet. But anybody who has ever worked in a corporate type situation knows the person that is walking around the office all day, you know, run back and forth, blah, 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 blah. And then when they have the monthly or annual meeting, you look at their output and their output is nothing. You know good and well who those folks are. If you don't, you're it. I'm just saying. So busy does not mean productive.
How you like that?
Say it again for the people in the back. Busy does not mean productive. You might have to learn a new word in your vocabulary. And let me go ahead and tell you what this word is. And let me make it like 100. You might need to add a new word to your vocabulary in order to make sure that you are productive and not busy. There it is. Yes, right? And then another update on that word would be this. Okay? So if busy is causing you problems, let's just go ahead and solve that and add these two. Write these down. Get your little Sharpie out. I tell everybody keep a Sharpie by the desk so you can write big swath statements. You might just have to make a couple updates to the language system. And this will solve about 98.675 carry 1 remainder 3 exponential 4 of your problems. No. Simple. Okay, let's go. And this one is the best one too. I love this one too, right? Victims tend to repeat ineffective behaviors. They just do the same stuff over and over again, not seeking a way to make it better and still complaining about the outcome, right? Again, we all know the person. It might be you. It's okay if it's you. It's definitely me for at some point. When I got to go places that I don't really want to go, I'll leave with no time to spare. Possibly show up late. If I'm going to a Manchester United game, I'm leaving 6 hours ahead of time. Why is that? Why is that? You know what I'm saying? Right? There was a funny thing that we used to say back in the day. Work like you're going on vacation tomorrow. Because people always get a metric F ton of work done the day before vacation. Because they know they got to get it done. They're going to be out for a hot minute, right? Imagine if you did that every day. Imagine if you worked every day like you was finna go on vacation tomorrow. So, yeah, the victim mindset is repeat the same behaviors. Okay, so let's put this into perspective. And people in the LGL, you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. Even after they have been told, do not come in here explaining why you're late. Nobody cares. Just come. What does everybody do? Not everybody. You know who they are. They come every time and tell you why. And the reason why is normally something medical that none of us here are medically certified except for me and Michelle. So why you tell everybody else? They can't do nothing. Eileen can't come and help you with your cataracts. Eileen can tell you what the new app that's coming out that's going to like make your life easier, but she doesn't solve your pneumonia. It doesn't say Miss Eileen, MD. You know what I'm saying? It says Miss Eileen Smith, purveyor of all the cool stuff that everybody should be using and checking out and learning to make your productivity better, so you're not just busy for busy's sake, right? So even after being told this 100 times by the host, myself, and other people in the community every week, probably this week come in with the, oh, sorry guys, I couldn't do this because, the dog ate my homework. If the dog keeps eating your homework, you know what a creator would do? Get rid of the dog. Switch to a cat. They don't even eat when they're supposed to. So what does creators do? You do something new that will change the outcome, right? You legit do something new that will change the outcome. That's what I'm talking about. Boom. Parker, good to see you here, family. I appreciate you. Right? I'm gonna for most of my life working towards being an I didda instead. Come on, player. That is so good. I completely understood what you said there, country. I completely understood that. My screen is covered in paper white. Oh, that was a mean joke back in the day, Mike. We can't say those jokes now, but that was a mean joke about the whiteout on the screen. Yes, efficiency is absolutely key. One of my favorite words is nevertheless, right after. Oh, thank you, Ray. That is a very, very good one. Nevertheless, or anyway, what I'm going to do is this, right? This. You know what I'm saying? So, come on, BK. So good to see you here, my Canadian friend. It says, ask yourself, would you fire you at the end of the day if you were the boss? Thank you. What tangible work product have you produced today? Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Boom. Hey, there you go. Change it to the steel toes. So yes, actually, Albert, this is a good thing. One of the reasons why I use a Sharpie for my mind dumping is because Noah does not have an eraser. And the other reason why I say use a Sharpie is because it doesn't allow you to get caught in the minutia. It doesn't write fine points. This is too fat a point. So you can't write the unnecessary minutia that tends to get people stuck, right? A lot of people get concreted in minutia. So for instance, a penny in itself is not heavy, right? A couple thousand pennies in your socks and you can't walk. You see what I'm saying? So what happens with the people who like to collect pennies, not the money penny, but the penny weight, if you will, people who like to collect all the little small minutia and stuff, is you get mired in the minutia. It becomes quicksand, and then you can't do, because you're, as Diana says, majoring in the minor. So I love to use this. You know what I'm saying? JFK said, take that dog out back and say your farewells. Exactly. Exactly. Definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting it to be different results. Alberto Einstein. To me, he's Latino, right? Alberto Einstein. Anyway, that rigid, the funny thing, right? So I was telling somebody this the other day. If you worked as hard at changing the things you think about as you do as holding on to them to protect yourself from changing the things that you think about, do you have any idea what that would do? You know what I mean? People fight really, really hard to defend their excuse. They fight really, really hard to defend their, mental stasis or whatever. Just like, man, imagine what happened if you put that much work into doing something dope about it. Anyway, this is a big one. Victims tend to predict defeat and give up without even trying. Oh, I'm not going to be able to do that because, probably, like, they're guessing ahead of time what's going to go wrong, right? And you guys know this one, right? All the time, right? So I'm not going to go to my favorite place. Why? Because there's not going to be any parking. What if we go early, or what if we go park like 3-4 blocks away and then walk? Or what if we park at this gigantic mall or something and Uber from there. You know what I mean? Like things like that. So you can't do that, right? You just got to think positively and seek a better choice, right? Right? Before you assume that you're never going to be able to get this because it's not available or something's going to be hard or whatever. Yeah, you just, boom. One of my favorites is like, oh, so-and-so is hard. My answer to that is I like learning new stuff. Just change your thought, think positively and be like, hey, I like learning new stuff. So this one is a very big one. I forgot what count we're on, but I get it. I get it, Victoria. I get it. That's funny. So happy to see you here. You're never going to walk alone. Thank you. Say it again, Keels, right? Looking forward to seeing everyone chiming in with IG platitudes coming back next week and telling us what they've done. Thank you. Thank you. Right, Keels? Because you know what I say. Inspiration without perspiration is just aspiration with 2 S's. So many quotes on social media are made up. Abraham Lincoln. You know, JP, I had a freaking wonderful conversation about this, and it's actually something else. I got to get into it because, yeah, that's a common statement, but I think it's even deeper than that. We got to get into that someday. Old boss once asked me why I was spending so much time in the research room. I told him I needed to understand my clients better. He asked, why are you avoiding meeting your clients? Action. Dang, that's good. Super good. I like that. All right. Before I wrap this up, let me see what Brian said. Predicting defeat should not be complaining, but anticipating issue problems and then focusing on how they can be overcome. Be practical. Holla back, BK. Yes, sir. That is it. That is 100% it. All right, so you know what we do at this part. We do a rewrap. I'm going to go quick, right? So remember, whenever you got to tell yourself one of these things, like, this is the reason. I'm like, okay, cool. Your excuse is valid, but what are you going to do about it, right? It's cold outside. So what I'm going to do, throw on an extra jacket and get at it. You know what I'm saying? Just whatever the excuse is, it's okay. Forgive yourself and move on. I better put this on. Dude, by the way, these loops, gangster. All right. Anyway, so your excuse is valid. So what? Right? Let's try not to focus on weakness. Instead, let's focus on improvement. Let's try to work on making these excuses, right? Let's just stop with that. Let's seek some solutions, right? So if editing is hard, then practice editing or get an editor or do something else, right? I got to say, just pay attention to Keely. She's really good at just overcoming the stuff that's grinding her gears at the moment in time. She is super good at figuring out a way to realign those gears so they don't grind anymore. Let's try to work on our complaints and turn those complaints into requests. If there's something that you don't like, let's just try to fix it or ask, can it be fixed, or seek a solution. We used to always say in the Army, don't complain about it if you don't have a solution. So there's that. Let's stop with the comparing ourselves unfavorably. You will never be India Delgado. You're just incapable of it. Okay? So just don't do it. You only can be you. Just go see if you can get some help from a more skilled person. Go to see India about your Stream Deck or your LumaFusion or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? That's where we at here, right? Let's skip blaming stuff. Let's work on some personal responsibility. Everybody in my class, every time you try to blame something, I come for you. So let's work on that. Let's work on that personal responsibility, right? There you go. And then problems are overcomable for the most part. For the most part, problems are overcomable, or you learn to adapt with the fact that you can't overcome it. go around it. I mean, if you can't get over it, you go around it, right? And if you can't go around it, you blow it up. Hoorah. That's the Marine Corps way. See, all your problems is temporary, right? Adapt and overcome. That's what we do. Adapt, excel, adapt, overcome. Hoorah. All right? And then stop trying to do stuff. Stop fitting to do stuff. Just do it. Don't try it. Do it. Do it. Do it. No. Do it. You know what I mean? Do it. That's an inside joke from some editing situation. And then, please, let's get over the repeating the behaviors, right? We can't be repeating these behaviors. You got to just find a way to come correct and make some adjustments in your life. Let's course correct, right? I got to tell you a story right after I finish this wrap up real quick. Just do something new and make changes to your outcomes. Okay, that's all you gotta do. Try something new. I don't know what to try. I'm trying everything and none of this is working. Cool, go vegan for 2 weeks. Go vegetarian for a week. Just try something new. Shake it up. You know what I'm saying? Shake it up. Simple. And that's marriage counselor 101, right? Oh, you guys are having problems? Try to do something different. Shake it up. Try smashing the kitchen or something. You know what I mean? Boom. Then please stop predicting defeat before you even try it. That one is just huge. It's really hard to explain or pull examples out of the sky because I normally freaking lose my insanity when people do this. You know what I'm saying? I normally lose my insanity when people do this. So I try not to think about them because that is people that do this. I call them my psychological vampires, and I quickly garlic them right the hell out of my life. I cannot stand people who do this. It's obnoxious. You guys remember Schlep Rock? That's what we're talking about here. Just think positively, seek better choices, right? And I'm not asking you to woo-woo, law of attraction, because you remember law of attraction still requires action. It's literally written right inside law of attraction. All right? Boom. And that's it, people. We did it. We did it again. Boom, we came through, and then, boom. See, man, Dina be quick with the recaps. Come on, girl. She kicked those recaps. I'm just telling you. I love it. You guys got to see Dina's little short, thick carrots in her videos. Don't complain to the non-commissioned officer unless you have 3 solutions to the problems you are presenting. Correct. That is the military way. I'm not asking all of y'all to join the military, but you can definitely learn a couple of things. You know what I'm saying? Keep your checklist flexible. That's right. That's right. You just got to be willing to just change that stuff. All things are learnable. All things are overcomable. So, boom. As Brian Kilmer would say upon hearing the excuse, complaint, repeat. So how's that working for you? Oh, I remember in the 80s, that was the thing. In the 80s, the answer to everything was, so how's that working for you? That was super funny. What's up, A? How you doing, brother, man? Good to see you here. I see a few of y'all are still looking for the like button. Oh, my goodness. I love that. I love that. Yeah, you got to keep Ken Lights on hand. That is super funny. All right, gang, I'm down for any questions. If you guys have any questions or got any feedback for the little, situation today, where we just talked about it for a hot minute. I have to say, let me throw this up on the screen real quick because my little India is in the building. Start, and then camera up. I said start, dang it. Where'd you go? I might have just broke something. We'll see if it recovers. And it didn't. All right, let me not do that. It turns out iOS 16 does not like that. Let me go to NDI version. It'll be better. That's super funny. NDI. Don't say it, Albert. Don't say it. I swear to God, I'm going to just come through here. Yo, what's up, Andrew? What's up, fam? Dang, it's been a minute. Mooney. Yes. Say what's up to Mr. Moon. Hey, it's not even showing up in here neither. What is popping, friends? Why? Why you want to go and do that, love, huh? Oh, goodness. Okay. It is not catching. Anyway, but that's what you get. When you update to things like, the new iOS, you can run into some problems. Okay, let's back this up. Let's back this up right here. XLR cables are soldered and repaired. Tom, if you want to pop in real quick and let us hear your cables, I'm down. I'm completely down. You know the link. If not, I'll message it to you right now. It'd be really cool. Nobody is allowed to ask Tom a damn thing about Rodecaster Pro 2 if he decides he wants to show off these cables. Because he did that like 8 times this week. Go find it. Catch up. And real quick, as a matter of fact, you know what? I'm going to give y'all a half an hour of office hours right here. Anybody that wishes to pop in real quick and ask a question, or let's un-F something live in public. Let's un-F it. Come for it. Let's do this right now. Anybody who's about that life. If you feel daring, bring that face. Bring your face. Space in your face. Boom. Let me just make this like that. Boom. Man, I'm so proud of this little kid right here. Anyway, what I was trying to show you guys, but my camera, my iOS 16. First of all, let me show you iOS 16 something real quick that I absolutely adore. This lock screen action right here is so flavorful, and you can pull up notifications from the bottom. You can drop them back down, and then when you open your phone, it does an animate. What? That little animation, right? That is just flavorful. Let me see if camo still works. That'll be a solution. CAMO. A lot of apps aren't fully blessed with iOS 16, but I knew that going in, and I kept telling myself only leave it on the portable guy over there and not put it on the real deal Holyfield. But you know that lasts about 6 seconds in your brain, and then you decide to just stick it in with the real deal Holyfield, and well, that's the problem you get. Ran into just got new orange ones, was getting okay. So what we told Tom to do, Andrew, when we were on his stream, is we're like, nah, fam, just go ahead and open them up. Because do I have one nearby here? You can unsolder them and resolder them really, really quickly. Where's my extra XLR cable? I know I have one hanging somewhere close by. Maybe I don't. Maybe I moved it. Buster, leave your girl holding. What it look like? Anyway, I don't see it at the front of me right now, but you can just, there's a little screw, you unscrew it, you open it, and what you see is a lot of times in mass production, they don't necessarily solder them very well. So all you have to do 9 times out of 10 is open it and resolder it. I know I have a cable here. Because if I don't find it, what's going to happen is Paul is going to tease me because I almost always have it. Man, that bothers me. I normally have it hanging right there, but I have been doing some damage to this office over here. Okay. Let me see if this works. App. Friday afternoon is sort of different than Monday morning. You know what that is when you been hitting the frosty treats. I love the fact that we had this conversation about, like just doing something instead of like thinking about it. Okay, so check this out. Here, let me grab this. It's going to drive me crazy. 1 second. He's back. He's back. He's back. He's back. Off. There it is. Okay, so look. Here's a brand new one in the package, right? I didn't use this new ones in the package when it came because not my favoriteest brand, Guitar Center, but it came free with something. So let me open this real quick. Do not cut your finger. There we go. All right. Those two in there. I got to say, one of the worst things in the planet is the fact that we have all of this ballistic packaging because of lift shoppers. There we go. All right. I hate ballistic packaging. So, if you were to buy an XLR cable like this, you basically, let me do the other side. You unscrew the thing right here, and then you pull back the sheath, and then in here there's a little thing you got to press to disengage the Nutrix connector. And then once you do that, you have full action to the cable, right? Like such. And then in here, you'll see, this might be a little bit hard. I wish my iPhone was working because I can hit you with the macro. But these ones are soldered actually pretty decently. A lot of times when you buy the cables, they'll come and the solder isn't very good. This is soldered really well. Wait, Tom, it says Tom's in the waiting room, but it's not. How is that? All right, Tom, I'm going to switch on and off interview mode real quick because it's not coming through. Let me copy this and let me do this. Oh, I know what's going on. Hold on, Tom. I know what's going on. Let me close this version of Ecamm over here. It doesn't like when you have two copies of Ecamm open. It can create trouble. So I closed that one. Let me toggle this. Okay, try now, Tom. Try redo it. And just in case, let me copy this link in case for some reason it switched. And then go like that. Because, yeah, it didn't pop up. As you can see, it has no waiting time. What the heck did I just do? There's no doubting. I mean, I know you're in there. I'm not doubting you, Thomas. I'm not as good as him. Let me just stop. Oh, God. Oh, that's good. I know my purple cables are here. I already used them. So, yeah, Mike shows trying to connect too. Try again, Mike. I just reset the connection. There it is, Mr. Nasty. So now we know, that doesn't happen very often, but now we know if you ever get a situation where someone says they're trying to connect and it's not connecting, just turn on and off.
I can't hear anything.
Why?
Hang
I
on
can hear you. I can hear you.
second. Wait. Oh, the. Uh, huh. I can't hear you.
I can hear
Wait.
you.
Oh,
There
I
you go.
can't hear you for some reason. Wait. This is troubleshooting. That's because we're gonna do this, maybe. Wait. What the heck?
USB
I
fader.
can't hear you.
Oh, he can't hear me say
I don't know.
USB fader.
Maybe I'm messing something up here.
Here, let
You
me
can
tell
clearly hear me,
USB
but
I
fader.
can do this. You can't hear me, but I can do this. I've got. Oh, wait. No. Wait. I hear you. I hear
Yeah,
you.
you can hear me because the
Okay.
USB
Sorry.
fader.
no, it's the chat fader.
Oh, that's right. It's chat now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we got a lot to learn. I'm so excited.
I don't know if there's an echo. I don't know if there's an
No.
echo or not.
No echo
There
at all.
shouldn't be,
You sound
Okay.
flawless. You
Of
sound
course I do.
flawless.
because my cable is resoldered. Weird on me.
No, sounds good. Hold on. Let me one thing that's really funny is every once in a while, Mac system preferences will grab that. Yep, it's doing it now. You know the blank Ecamm live app audio?
Yeah.
You're never supposed to select that. And it's
Right.
kind of a virtual connection, but unfortunately macOS doesn't allow me to hide it. So what it'll do is every once in a while, it will jump to that. You never want to be connected to that because that's just something that we need internally to do routing. And
Yeah.
I hate when macOS grabs it because it makes your Rodecaster Pro sound funny.
It really does.
I love that thing. That is so. I mean, I could just do that with my own voice, but hey.
Not all of us can. So now.
But could you do this with your own voice?
Let's see,
Anyway.
I don't have any weed in here. Oh my God, it is amazeballs. Yeah, so anyway,
yeah,
when I
look
was
at this.
when you open yours, like this is, I didn't even think so because I don't like Guitar Center cables just because of the, certain cables, they're flex and they're bendy. Their memory is
Yeah.
really bad. Like if you do that, that crank stays. Livewire isn't that bad, but I'm not a fan of these Guitar Center cables. But now that I've opened it, I'm never going to say that again because it is soldered extremely well.
So mine are just these these cheapo Amazon ones. I don't know if I can hold it up here and let me block my eyes. Maybe it'll focus.
You
Yeah.
got it.
The soldering was okay, but what it was when the cable was being moved, the copper wires I would move the cable and then the wires would touch each other.
Oh.
Because it's almost like there wasn't enough soldering. So I did kind of like a ghetto fix on it, and it works fine for now. But what I should have done was probably get little heat shrink things and put it around each of the
Yes.
twisty cable parts.
Yes.
That would have been the correct Doc Rock, Mr. Camera Junkie way to fix it. But I I didn't do that. I just put a bunch of solder on it to keep things from moving. But
Hey.
whatever.
Keep on moving. Don't stop with the hands of time. Sorry. I
Wait,
get
wait,
musical
where?
Tourette's.
There we go.
Karen was
they
telling me
changed
this
the-
week.
They changed the applause thing, and now it sounds sarcastic. on here.
Karen was telling me this week, please stop singing everything. I'm like, well, stop making musical references. She goes, but everything
Right?
to you is a song. I'm like, hey, you picked the DJ. It's
That's
just-
true. Speaking of, there's this sound effect now. I have a record scratch. So
Ooh,
do
Love
what you
that.
will.
love that.
Can't put this back
It'll
together.
be
now.
super funny now that I took this cable apart. When I go to plug it in when I need it, it doesn't work.
Yeah, I just broke another innocent cable here. Come on, buddy. Anyway, great stream, by the way.
Thank you.
I enjoyed listening to it while using my little Ryobi soldering iron station, which is super fun. Soldering is one of the best things ever. But there was something I was thinking you said that popped up. Oh, yeah. It was about being busy because people are busy and busy can be an excuse. But I was also thinking, sometimes when someone is busy, it's also maybe a sign that they are it's not, someone said it's not a sign of productivity, but being busy is also almost sometimes when someone's always busy, I kind of think maybe you're not someone I should count on for things because you shouldn't be just always busy all the time if
Right.
you're doing things properly.
Right. I found that out the hard way.
Yeah, me too.
So here, let me fix this because we just look dumb.
I don't
Um,
know.
No, that was me. Here's how I found this out the hard way. I would have friends of mine that need something
Oh no.
really handily taken care of. And then when they got screwed over because they went to someone other than me, and I'm like, dude, you're like family. Like, why would you ask somebody else? And you know what they
Yep.
said? Oh, because you're always busy. And I go, yeah, but I'm never too busy for you. Like, there's friends you call to help you move. There's friends
Right.
that you call to help you move a body. You're on list B. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? So, like, why would you not call me? And now you're a couple extra $1,000 in the hole because the other person effed you. And now I'm also here un-effing this problem, which you should have just called me in the first place.
Right.
And then someone who I know and love is like, no, but you're like always so busy and I didn't want to burden you and, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm never too busy for you. And he goes, but you always say that you're busy. And I'm like, okay, so what does that mean? Painfully, it meant that I was filling my calendar with busy work, but I wasn't actually making honey. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I was going
100%.
there, getting nectared out, come back, nectar all up in the ass, be like, hey. And they're like, yo, put it in the honey thing. Nah, I got to go do another flower. But you already got the nectar. You don't have to do, you know what I'm saying? So that's why my thing to Kathy was you got to get good at no. And then once I got better at no, and I think it's because I was a people pleaser.
Mm-hmm.
I always wanted to, show the best. And part of that comes from, rough upbringing, family, whatever. Part of that comes from being adopted. Part of that comes from, trying to overcome skin color. We got to do 150 to get counted as 75.
Right.
Right. And then even then, it's like, oh, well, that was a good 75, but I can't depend on you because, the stereotype is, quote unquote, we're undependable. Stupid stereotype, by the way.
Right.
So
I know the struggle.
Right. You know what it is. T-Bizzle,
Yeah.
you know how it is. Right. So
I do.
Same thing for every female in the stream has been in that same exact position. Right. Sometimes worse. And the unicorn would be the black females. They got it the worst. Like you're at the very bottom of the let me pick on you chain. So yeah, all of those things required you to always seem like you're doing more than you should. And yeah, when I developed the no habit, oh, it's glorious, man. No, but you're always, but not today. I'm done.
Right. Right. And an open spot in your calendar doesn't mean available.
Correct.
That's a
Right,
big
you
one.
need time for the dogs. You need time for Heather. You need time to take that woman to go get that damn cake. I already bought it.
You just need it delivered now. But yes. And it's also like an empty day in your calendar is still whatever normal stuff you got to do work-wise. So just because like someone's like, hey, can you do this thing? You're like, well, I don't have anything scheduled, so I got to say yes. No, you don't. You're not obligated to say yes just because there's nothing in the calendar. Like, even if you say no and then go just recharge on the couch watching a Doc Rock stream, that's also important.
And you know what I do consider though? I consider like watching you and Heather or just, moderating for you guys or engaging. I still consider that part of my training. It keeps my skills up. Watching you react to a question, watching you get stuck on a question could even remind me, I'm not saying you get stuck, but I'm just saying like if and when the situation comes up where you get stuck, it reminds me, here's a good way to bail. Here's a different way to bail. I told my group this about 2 weeks ago. And of course you couldn't have heard this because you weren't there. You know, the number one thing I learned from you, little brother, patience and soften the punches a little bit.
Patience. Hey, wow. I'm impressed that patience is one of them.
No, not the kind of patience where, the way we would think. I mean, like when like in the stream today, after the 5th, can you daisy chain mixers? I I would have been like, damn it, people, you can daisy chain any two mixers in the world. It's
Right.
how concert works. The drummer has his own separate mixer, right? The singers have their own, the monitors have their own separate mixer. The security are even have their own separate mixer, and the truck to the satellite has its own. So yeah, you can daisy chain 50 mixers if you want to. A stereo pair out, a stereo pair in, they're daisy chain. Shut the look, I was lucid. But you're like, okay, people, yes. Road doesn't officially have, yeah, like the way you do it. So I am learning temperance from watching you, because me, I would lose it already.
I appreciate that.
Especially when I get to the understanding now that I believe some people literally ask the question because they need you to say it to them directly, otherwise it didn't count. Or
Right, doesn't
they
make
just want to see their name on the screen. Let's just be honest. And it's okay. Like, if that's what you want, say something funny or intriguing, I'll put you on the screen. You know what I mean?
Super
like
chat me
JP,
$50. You get on the
yeah,
screen.
there you go. If you want to be on the screen, just send a super chat. You're on the screen, right?
Yeah.
I just know JP says something crazy, then no, I'm ignoring you, JP. But yeah, I've learned that, and I did tell you about Tom's superpower. Right. I told my community why I respect you as one of my favorite creators in the world is because you have a superpower as a creator that most of our contemporaries don't necessarily have. Do you care to know what that is? You probably already know it, but
Shockingly good looks.
that was the one. That's what I said. I was
knew it.
like, he's like Beefcake Tom.
That's my nickname. How did you know?
That's why that's yesterday. I wanted to see a stream with all of the swole creators, like Jason and Peter and Terry, and then Tom.
Yeah.
Too tight shirt Terry.
Yeah.
Anyway, to me, in my personal opinion, as a professional doctor on TV, your superpower is you care, like legitimately care. Sometimes to a fault, and I curse you out for it when I message you. Tom, leave them damn people alone. They ain't got nothing to do with you. But I think
Yeah.
because you care so much about what your audience is going to take away from what you're doing, that is your superpower. I don't
Thank you.
think the 100,000 has anything to do with it just being Rodecaster Pro or just being mics or whatever, because a whole bunch of people are doing that as well. But you really, really, really do care. And you can tell by the insane amount of detail you put into everything, including like drawing on your thumbnails in Procreate while the dog is sitting on your feet.
Yes.
Like
Yeah,
that level of care.
I think I learned that. I think I learned that from two places. From feeling like nobody cared growing up, like as a kid, and from teaching. Then being on the other side of that, because when I was teaching high school students for like a decade, it's a small microcosm, but you have a class of 40 kids or whatever, and you're saying something, and you really learn quickly that one little offhanded comment or one little thing that you don't even think about can have a huge positive or negative effect on somebody. And then that student will take that with them. So if you just accidentally do like a sarcastic quip that you didn't even think twice about, it can not just ruin their day, but like give them some kind of complex that they have to spend years getting over. Same goes if you just give a nice compliment, if you just make sure they understand something. If they say, I think this is a dumb question, and you say, no, that's not a dumb question at all, because it totally makes sense. You would be confused about that. Like, kind of validating. Not everybody at once is going to go, oh my God, we get it. But to those one little people here or there, it makes a big difference. And I think with like YouTube and streaming, whatever, you just take that idea and you just expand it, and you're not in the same room with them, so you can't see it in the same way, but it's kind of the same thing. Like, you have the same mix of people can have the same feelings, the same takeaways, and then you just try to remember that every time the comments and the things pop up on screen. You're like, okay, where's this person coming from? Are they just being a jerk? Are they asking a real question? Are they like psychologically deranged? And how do I handle it? And most of the time, people are being genuine, they're being kind, they're asking just legitimate questions, and it's worth focusing as much of your attention as you can within reason on that when you can.
See, Tom just figured me out right there. Absolute jerk, psychologically deranged, and seeks attention. But and we did touch on the fact that you being a teacher, you were a subject of last week's class because I was talking about telling people to figure out what their superpower is, right? And your teaching part of it had a lot to do with it because we do have people in the chat, people in my group like Kevin Cox and Gretchen and some others who are teachers as well, and I'm like, yeah, so you already have the hardest part about being an edutainment channel, which is where you should be right now. You already have licked because of that, but learning to teach is learnable. Hello? Right?
Oh, yeah.
Learning to care may not necessarily be learnable, but you can start. And then once you start getting those positive feedbacks, it will then in turn, like my audience, I say my people, my Discord squad, my LGL people, they know I care, but they know I'm going to yell, but that's the drill sergeant me. Part of the reason why I yell so much, I'm like that strict parent that I had, I yell a lot because I want the best for you, right? And I think it wouldn't go over if I was just yelling a lot.
Yeah.
But what you just said,
I had to learn that too.
What you just said that sticks with me a lot is this is going to be hard for Keely and I. Sarcasm, we got to cut it out. Damn, because I'm pretty quick with the sarcastic remarks.
Oh, me too.
That's a superpower, bro.
I mean, it can be, and if you frame it like, there's always people I know I can just be sarcastic with, and I can say like the meanest thing in the world to them, and we're gonna get it. Whereas like there's other people that I know, be like whatever I say, just be concrete, objective. You just kind of got to learn that along the way. Like Sammy was in this. No, who was it? I think it was Sammy was in the stream, and Heather was like, "Okay, we got to go through these questions."
Oh
really
yeah,
quick,
I'm not answering
some interesting ones. And I was like, "Yeah, okay." And then it was like, "Sammy's asking this great question." I was like, "I don't talk to Sammy." Moving on.
And Sammy knows you're joking.
Yeah, Sammy's gonna know that I'm joking without me, even though I did say, of course, I'm joking, so people don't think I'm just a beehole. They know that I don't know. Sammy knows that I'm joking. It's funny. I wouldn't do that with someone I don't know. I never saw before.
Hold on, Tom Buck. Let's just put a break in it right now. You are such Mr. Nice Guy. You censored butthole. Whereas the rest of us where the rest of us would censor asshole, you censored butthole.
It's such a gross term. Wait, can I add my censor sound effect here?
It is 100% a gross term, but it is really funny when you said beehole.
Wait, can I? Oh, there we go. Now I can say. I don't want to say it because then I won't myself at the right time.
Yeah, I always worry about my lip button because I would definitely miss it, and all you hear would be like cough.
Yeah, I would
and I literally said cough. All I said was cough, but if you time the button right, then you can make sure you never miss, and you just go off, and then they get it.
Yeah, I would be like, that person's just the butt. And like, wait, no, I meant to censor the butt, not the whole. Anyway.
Oh my goodness, that is super funny. Doc, can you put your screen? Oh, there you go. Doc can put you on the screen, but I can take you off the stream. Yes, Mr. Moderator Supreme in the building. And again, to that caring thing and why this subject came up, we were talking about how much work that I know you were putting into these RCP videos. And then here's the part that chaps my nads for two reasons. One, because you feel the need to justify this crap. And every time you do, I want to reach through Indio and grab you and then shake you and be like, Thomas K. Buck. I won't say the middle part. Like, please stop doing that because they do not deserve your love at that point. Anybody who thinks
I have not said this video is sponsored other than like what's required. Rode sent me this, done. Beta firmware, Rode asked me to say it's beta firmware. Like, other than that, I have not.
But you know what I mean? The people that will come in the chat and be like, oh, how come Tom got his first? Blah, blah. I was like, have you seen the level of work he did? Or this one bothers me, and I know it's subtle, and they may not even know, but it bothers me. Oh, you so lucky that you got that. No, that's labor under correct knowledge. That's
Right.
what that
Yeah.
is. Not the kind of luck you think it is. That's the acronym luck. He worked his butt off. He taught himself. And they're like, well, he just knew how to road. No one knew how to Roadcaster Pro when it came out, dummy.
No. No. And that's why it's like also this thing, speaking of superpowers, like my passion for this piece of gear is a superpower because I can speak to it in a way that's different. And then the company that makes it is going to be drawn to that. I can't do that for everything that comes out. So it's like recognizing this is a strength. I will play to that strength. Other things like, I don't know, whenever something else comes out that I'm just not as familiar with, like a Go XLR or something, cool, that's cool. I can't talk about it the same way that I can talk about this. So like it just won't.
Keely said it right there. Oh, sure, Tom. Now I can't be sarcastic. Thanks, Tom.
You're welcome.
Oh my goodness. You know, Marcus, this is funny. Because Patrice is I don't know if you've seen Patrice around, but she's definitely here on this side. Patrice is one of my best friends, known Patrice for close to 20 years now. And Patrice is German, but currently living in Austria. And Patrice is really good at talking quietly while peeling your skin. And I think that's a German thing, bro. I don't know.
Yeah.
Man, she kills me with that. I'm just like, yes, Patrice. Sorry, Patrice. Dina is also very good at like letting you know you're about to get folded into a small box without ever raising her voice. Yeah. Dina's nice though in real life. Don't let her fool you. So there was something else that I wanted to tell you while you're here because, Dave, first of all, just congratulations on the success.
Thanks.
And it's not an overnight, and it's so irritating. Like, you know, people think it's an overnight thing. I remember the very beginnings, right? I think I found it either looking for the Rodecaster Pro or looking for the pod mic, but then I remembered that I had actually seen part of the enthusiasm thing before.
Yes.
So, you know, but I believe it was either the RCP or the pod mic that pulled me into the Buck sphere. And
Yeah.
couple things that stood out right away: your studio lighting, because weirdo lighting nerd, hello. And then the second part of it was just watching the way you explain things at a level of detail.
I like it.
India, I did the thing where I cut it off and cut it back on. And what you might want to do is try Firefox. I know this sounds weird, but it has happened before. And then you have to try Firefox. So the thing that's funny to me is people were still arguing about not wanting to have a niche. You kind of have a niche, right? And so that proves that just basically wrong. People will argue that, you know, live streaming doesn't necessarily help. I think it completely can if your audience knows what they're expecting, right? You have to explain to your audience what you're doing so that they know what you're doing.
Yeah.
If you don't understand that, you're not very good at marriage or relationships, because you got to tell them what you're going to do before you do it. Spontaneous is one thing. Just doing everything because you feel like it without letting the partner know so they can make arrangements to either support you or negate you, it ain't gonna work.
Yeah. I'm big on context. That's what I like.
Context. You know what? Being multilingual, that is something that I learned real quick, especially when I was taking up Korean and Japanese. Context is everything. Like there's such thing as a high context society and a low context society. And in high context societies, like, you have to be very, very, very on point with your context. So I appreciate that. But what was it that you think was the epiphany that caused you to just turn up?
That's a good question.
You know, I'm one of the best interviewers you will ever.
That's a real good question, because it's like a slow burn, right? It's not necessarily an overnight epiphany, but I think that's where the Rodecaster actually did play a big rollcaster, because it
just like butter.
It did help give my channel. You can go through the videos actually, and you'll see like, okay, there's a bunch of vlogs, there's a bunch of random stuff. Here's a mic review, here's a camera lens review, whatever. And then the Rodecaster came out, and it was so specific And people got so much out of it that I was like, oh, that was fun. And people appreciated it. There's a lot more to cover. Maybe I should do more. And then the things that go with it. Like I had just gotten my pod mic. It's like, do you need a good mic with it? Do you need like, and I think what that did is it showed me, not that I just want to be like a roadcaster channel, but okay, the people who are using this are people who are, a lot of them are one person production teams. And they want to get good audio and good video for whatever it is, a live stream YouTube channel, work events, something like that. And I was like, okay, that's what I like too. And then kind of dialing in and realizing a lot of the people I was talking to or making videos for were me like 6 months ago. So whatever I was struggling with 6 months prior, that's what the questions they had now. And just kind of thinking as I was wanting to learn more, because they were saying earlier, like just learn more, like keep learning. I like to learn things. And the more I realize, okay, I'm learning this now. 6 months ago, I didn't know that. So like this person is going to have this question next, then they're going to have that question, then they're going to have this problem. And then you can kind of just predict the journey of that. And the Roadcaster helped solidify it because it showed me who was coming to my channel and who kind of connected with it in a specific way. And that was really big. And you can see from like the first Roadcaster review, whenever it first came out, like a couple years ago at this point, after that, things kind of got a little more focused and specific. And then it just constantly reminding people, like if I do a bunch of Roadcaster videos, then it's like, yeah, here also is a camera lens thing or a camera review, because I want to remind you it's not just this one thing. There is also
Correct.
this over here. Correct. And yeah, and that's kind of, for better or worse, been the strategy ever since.
So you just said something very valuable. I want my people to be able to have a pure takeaway from this.
Okay.
When you are learning something, when you posit a question about that something, write that question in a document down somewhere, with Apple Notes or Drafts or wherever you keep it, because you can probably take that same question, transmogrify it to fit what it is that you teach, right?
Yeah.
So for instance, Tom this morning got inundated with, can you connect two Roadcaster Pros together? Let's say you're talking about Stream Deck or Loop Deck or my fancy little keyboards. Somebody would probably ask that question. So save that as a question in your own situation, right? So it's completely left. Can I make two Discord servers under the same Discord account, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the next question, that kept coming up was about like, something with the PC or whatever, right? I forgot
Like
what
routing,
the second question.
audio
Yeah, like routing. So find a way to write that question down. When you see, so that way, when you are teaching your subject matter, you will gain the temperance that I'd never had. I'll fully admit that I didn't have up until recently, or maybe still need to work on. Gain the temperance of the simple questions. Like, for instance, to me, this sounds crazy, but I nearly lose my mind because people kept asking me to do this, right? And then they're like, how'd you do that? And I'm like, this Mac 101. You were a genius, stupid. You worked at the Genius Bar. You were gainfully. Steve Jobs paid you real spendable money for years. Of course you know that. Your mama don't know that.
Right.
Yeah, she doesn't. You're correct. Her keyboard's Korean. So, but she doesn't, so like, yeah, gaining that temperance of where I started questions and start looking for those, but also you can look for those in other people's streams in your same subject matter. I can look at a question from Drew to put it to my Roadcaster Pro stuff, right? Because I know somebody asked it and it was great. Or I'm watching Boot Junkie, right? Boot Junkie says something and then there's a question in his comment stream or his comment wall. I can take those questions, bring them and answer them in my stream. Some of them, if you see the same question 6 times, maybe 3 actually, that's a video. Make that video.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even if that video is only 60 seconds, now it works, right? Make that video.
And then it's on your channel forever. So in the future, every time someone asks, you just say, go check out my video about that thing. I have a video all about that. Check out the video. And it answers a question for you. It helps your channel and it answers it like helps them too. So like it's super win-win-win.
This is really good, Obs. Teach what you wanted to know 5 months ago. 100%.
Yeah.
It's super 100%. I
Yeah.
love that.
When I taught English, there were so many times because it was like grammar and stuff, which I know how to speak good, but I don't know the technical reasons why I talk so good. And so we'd have to teach grammar, and it'd be like, that morning I'd be looking through the teacher's edition. Okay, like what's a gerund? And then these ninth graders would show up and be like, "You guys don't know what a gerund is? Like, how did you get to be 14 years old?" Like, I definitely didn't look that up this morning. Like sometimes you know the best way to learn something is to teach it, and sometimes you need to teach stuff that you learned like right away. You know, like you figure it out, share it with someone. It's going to get in your brain more, and then you will share the knowledge, and then it will be documented so other people can tell you you're wrong.
Freaking Keely. I'm telling you what, the Reporter Store needs to pay us. And then number
Keeping them in
two,
business.
as I order another set, I am going to send them to my old boss, my old boss from the radio. He actually works in China in manufacturing. He manufactures Funkos. Right? You know the Funko dolls?
Yep.
Yeah, so as a matter of fact, check this out.
I have Gene from Bob's Burgers right here with a Casio keyboard.
This is what a Funko prototype looks like before it becomes real. So this, as you can tell, this is way larger than normal, right? So when they're trying to figure out the minor details and, you know, things like, you know, paint jobs and stuff like that, even the two different types of vinyl don't fully match. This was a prototype that you get, or you get things that most of you have never seen because this has never came out to the public.
That's a cool one.
I'm Groot. And he does this. I'm Groot. Right? So being there, I went to a bunch of manufacturing places with him. Even I've been to Foxconn where they make iPhones. So I love the comments about like all the little kids making it. There's no human hands that make iPhones. There's people that make the machines that make iPhones, but the rooms themselves completely no humans. It's just anyway. In that situation, I'm going to contact him and be like, "Look, dude, I need you to get me in contact with somebody that can make foams, and then we're just going to have to sell them ourselves." Because number one, shipping from Denmark is ridiculous. Or Netherlands, I forget where it is, but it's over there. And I swear we get that question so much that we can be like, boom, here you go. What color you want? Like, you know, the trench coat.
Yeah. Talk about revenue streams. That would be my that'd pay our mortgage for the next year.
Right? I swear we get that question so much. It's not even funny. And we always have to say, not affiliate. At least give us an affiliate link player. Because I know I've sold a couple hundred.
Great too. But I don't know. They have to know, right? Like they have to be aware of, wow, we got so many SM7B orders.
But like, here's the thing. And just if you're a company and someone's like, first of all, no one's ever emailed me or called me or sent me a tweet and be like, dude, thanks. Even Nanlite tells me thanks when I make an IG video about Nanlites.
Yeah, of course.
You know, they're like, "Oh man, great for the. Can we use that? Yeah, you can use it. I don't care what you do." You know, like how the hell does Reporter Store not know that between Tom and I, we probably send and Keith, we got to add KP in the building.
Oh yeah.
Like, how did they not know that we send all these people to you? Come on, stop. Anyway,
that's right.
I just want to thank you for, you know, just doing what you do, coming through, and you provide a lot of inspiration to people in LGL and ECAM communities, both because you are one of the bigger streamers, of course, or bigger creators, proper terminology, but you're accessible. And
thank you. I appreciate that.
This guy.
Maybe it's access that leads to success, and then you'll suck less.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
Oh my
I'm so sorry. You said the nicest thing in the world.
No,
and then
that's funny. That's something I would do. You know what it is, Tom? But let's just tell you this right now for myself and the entire LGL family. You suck at taking compliments.
Yes, I do. I don't know what to do with that. I'll just log off the stream. I appreciate, here's the thing. I don't know how to respond to them, but they live in my brain forever, and I really do appreciate.
I can tell you how I learned it. I will tell you how I learned it, and I learned it from a very important mentor to me. He was like, just say thank you. And I was like, what do you mean? And I'm like, here's why. And once you told me this, I about cried, and then I try to make it a habit not to do it again. Do not open and close the AirPods while you're on the stream. The thing kept popping up. Anyway, he said, the most horrible thing you can do is when someone pays you I'm not picking on you, just understand this lesson here. When someone pays you a compliment, to be like, oh, no, not really. That is an a-hole move. Sorry, that is a b-hole move.
Oh, yes.
Right? When someone tells you that you did something to make them feel better, you saved their day, or you did whatever, especially men, we are so bad at paying compliments to another male or conceding our pride to someone else, that when someone gives you an accolation or whatever, say thank you. And like Lo says, say I received that. And it's very important because it is very hard for people to give compliments. It just is. And by not just saying thank you, you're belittling the effort and emotional strength it took for them to swallow their pride and release that. Right? I don't have that kind of pride. I just love you, so I could tell you, but I'm not offended by your squeaky voice thing. I find it hilarious. But yeah, I never understood that. And of course, no one was ever going to tell you they're offended. They'll just repeat the compliment.
Right.
And you'll keep shooting it down. And this was hard for me because like in Japan and Korea, like you always push them away because you don't think of yourself as better than someone else. But culturally, it's dismissive to not receive someone's flowers, if you will, as we say in the streets.
Right.
Let me give you your flowers while you're still alive.
I receive that very much. And you know what? You're really good at what you do, and I appreciate it, and everyone else here appreciates it. And it's awesome to see how, regardless of how many hours you put in, how long you've been doing it, you're constantly trying to continue to get better and learn and improve and grow and evolve. And you deserve a lot of props for that as well.
I fully appreciate that. and no, I do. I fully appreciate that. And I just hope that I can set an example that other people can use to tell their story, because I just know someone's dying to hear that story. And you know, it's super funny. This is the proof of someone's dying to tell their story. Heather was doing her jump rope thing for a while. I don't even know if she's still into it, but she was really enjoying it and having a good time. And then so just randomly the other day, Karen was like watching something on IG, and she's showing me this girl doing jump rope stuff. And she's like, I want to get a jump rope again, because she had. And she's like, I want to do some jump rope stuff. And I was like, oh, funny you should say that. Why is that funny? I just want to jump rope. I go, hold on, wait. So I went, brrr, and then I showed her Heather. She's like, that's Heather. Oh my God, she's really good. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah. So then when we go there, then you and Heather can jump rope, and Tom and I can nerd out on RCPs.
Perfect. That sounds great.
And so you never know, even months later, how someone might be impacted by what you put out. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So when you got to put it out there. Thank you, Dragan. When I see you, we're going to go have fika, and then we'll be okay.
All right.
Thank you. I'm out. I got class pretty soon.
You got class.
I appreciate you. You probably need to walk the dogs or take your wife to get a cake from somewhere.
Yes, somewhere. Don't know where though. Baskin Robbins. Thanks for letting me be a part of your stream. This is super fun, and thanks for all you for encouraging me to just fix my stupid $6 cable that took 10 minutes to fix.
Now you can go check all the rest of them before. When my thing comes in, we'll do something for the eCam, like on the eCam masterclass, if that's okay. I would love to do that. But I don't. Hopefully it comes in, like you said. B&H still shows back order, but when we get them, or maybe we could do it as a thing, like me, you, Luis, the ECAM moderators. We can do it as a panel. So where there's different levels of skills in the.
I'm all about nerding out on this thing because it's so awesome. You're gonna have so much fun with it.
I can't wait. I appreciate you guys. Everybody say bye, Tom, and I will see you guys in class in a little bit. I need to break my fast and go put more coffee in my face. So there's that. Love you guys. You guys are awesome. Appreciate you. See you on Tuesday. Mahalo.
City of mine, how I love the city of mine. It never gets me down. City of mine, how I love city